we're trying to do something that's nearly impossible to do, which is to take on the mainstream media. We rely only on the donations of our loyal viewers and from the advertising revenue we get from these YouTube videos. That is it. Doing the things that we plan on doing will cost us tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars if we do it the right way. Adding new programming, hiring new staff, which I have been doing over the last few weeks. We've hired 3 new people and we're looking to add a couple of others. Is almost impossible without a continuous stream, a steady stream of donations. I hate to get on here and ask you every day for donations. I really do. I don't like to ask for anything. I don't like to beg for anything. This is something that is very hard for me and goes against my nature. But at the same time, you guys had our back during the general election and in the primaries. You're the one that egged us on and encouraged us to go further and go further. And so here we are. After the election, we're still relevant only because of you. We exist now only because of the donations that you generously offered us in the last 6 months in particular. Well, right now we're asking you to find a way, if you can, to help us some more so we can continue our road, our journey to make the media great again. We have offices that we're opening up in D.C. And here in Auburn, we just spent $60,000 on our office here at the Right Side Broadcasting Network global headquarters in Little Auburn, Alabama. This story, if we wrote a book on it, and maybe we should, would be almost unbelievable at how we have managed to take these people on. Just little old us, a few of us here from Alabama, managed to make a huge impact on the results of the 2016 presidential election. We're not by any means saying that we are the ones responsible for Mr. Trump being in the White House. We're saying that we played a huge role in getting Mr. Trump in the White House. I've said before that if only 120,000 less people in 3 swing states would have not voted for Mr. Trump, he wouldn't be in there. Our videos have received over 112 million views and counting on YouTube. That is a big number when you're talking about an electorate of about 140, 150 million people who voted. So please, if there's anything you can do to help us grow, to extend our programming, and to continue to be able to send people out to all of these events and cover events in real time, State of the Union addresses, White House press briefings, etc., which we do plan on being at. We are not in the club, the exclusive club that the rest of the media have set up. And getting these credentials may not be easy, but we're confident that because of our relationship with people, that we may be able to pull it off. So please help us if you can at rsbn.tv/donate. And you may hear me say this a few more times during this broadcast, and I apologize for that. You're welcome to mute the volume. But the simple fact is that we're totally relying on you, and we will go only as far as you'll have it. So enjoy the rally, and we'll be back here in a little bit to check in on you, see how things are going. We also have our 24-hour office camera up. I'm currently waving to the folks that for some reason are still watching us and not the rally. So if you want to, you can check on. We want to be a transparent company, folks. We want to be transparent, and we want you to see us working in the studio because that's what we are. We're a new kind of media company. We're totally beholden to our viewers. We want you to see firsthand what it's like working here at Right Side Broadcasting. Just don't show up and stalk us and do weird things like this guy did today and call my mother-in-law. That's really creepy, and I'll never hire you. So enjoy, and we'll see you back here in a little bit. like to welcome you back here to the studio here in Auburn and remind everybody that you can now watch RSBN do our daily little tasks here in the office, I guess you'd say, at the RSBN office camera, which we've set up to run 24 hours a day, so you can peek in and be creepy and spy on us while we're working and to bring you the latest news coverage and bring you all the new shows. In fact, for those of you that are watching right now on the live camera, I'm giving you the thumbs up. I don't know why you'd be watching me right now when you could be watching the wonderful people here at the Trump rally in Wisconsin, but we are going the extra mile to be transparent and to show you the beginnings of hopefully something really big. This small media company born out of Auburn, Alabama. We're very, very thankful that you've chosen us tonight to watch this rally. We're going to do our best to make sure that we get you this rally without any complications or technical difficulties tonight. Again, we are the only, I touched on this earlier today, but I want to say it one more time. This is not a knock on everybody, okay? Because, I understand that people out there, look, you just want to see the rally. But you should know that when you go to these rallies, if you've been to one of these Trump rallies before, you have seen CNN's cameras, you've seen NBC, CBS, ABC, all the big guys are there. And then right next to them is little old RSBN. And it's amazing what we've been able to accomplish in such a small amount of time. We have been able to actually be relevant and compete with these people, these giants, and it's very difficult to do that. In order to continue, we need your help, so we are asking you please to help us because we are spending lots of money on programming, on hiring people. This is very, very important to me that you would continue to help us. This company relies and depends on you, and without you, we would definitely go under in a heartbeat, and it's only because of you that we are at this point. So please help us, rsbn.tv/donate. Nothing against the other YouTube guys that probably are just regular people trying to make a living, but we are actually out there on the front lines. We actually spend the money that it takes to go to these events. My guy, we spent money on internet, hotels, and travel. It takes thousands of dollars to go to these events, and it would be easier for us to sit back and do what everybody else is doing and not having any overhead. And spending all this money to go out to these rallies is very expensive. So if you can help us, please do so. Everything you see on RSBN is original content by us. We used to do it the old way. We used to, when we were in the infant stages of our company, we may have broken the rules a few times back then, but those days are long gone. RSBN is a media company now. We're going to be honest and open with our people, which is why we have the office camera up. We want to do things the right way. It doesn't matter that any of these other companies are, the argument I've heard is, they won't never miss the viewers. They have millions of dollars and they're multi-million-dollar companies. It's the principle of it, and I get it because I've seen us spend all this money going out to the rallies, and then people rip our stuff, and it really makes me mad. So everything you say on here on RSBN, and we're not going to mess with the AP, we're not going to mess with Reuters, we're not going to do a subscription service to that. We're going to be at every event because of you, and we thank you. And I'm going to shut up now. Adam Taxon will be here in a little while to talk to you about some things, and then the rally will commence here in about 2 hours. Thank you.
House red wine as the band begins to play, she's grooving, letting music fill her soul. she dances alone. No, nobody knows, nobody knows. Is there something at home? Nobody knows, nobody knows why she dances alone. No, nobody knows, nobody knows what she's running from. You can ask her to dance if you want, but you smile and just say no. Nobody knows why she dances alone. Nobody knows why she dances alone.
Back here at the Right Side Broadcasting Studios here in Auburn, and want to say a special hello to everybody that's watching on the office camera, which you can see at any time on YouTube at our YouTube channel and also at rsbn.tv. Our website, we're transparent. We want you to see what goes on here. A fledgling little media company like ours just starting out. We want you guys to be a part of it because you have basically built this place with your generous donations and help. So please help us continue to grow at rsbn.tv/donate. One other thing, I'm not going to take up too much of your time this time, but I wanted to say it's very exciting, which we have just been informed that our feed, the RSBN camera feed, which of course is the only one that moves and is the only one that's worth watching, okay? Even when we have technical difficulties, it's still better than the other knockoff streams out there. You can watch us live on, if you're at the rally at Lad People Stadium in Mobile, which is just the home of the University of South Alabama, the Jags. You can watch us live, our stream. Our camera feed will be on the big video board there at the football stadium. So that's going to be really cool. We're honored to have that happen to us. And that will be the last thank you rally for Mr. Trump on Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time in Mobile, Alabama. And folks, one more thing back here. Joe Seals here, Right Side Broadcasting Studios, Auburn, Alabama. As soon as we get 10,000 viewers on our stream, we're going to do something special for you. Don't worry, the rally will stay up. We're going to give you a tour of our office. We were going to do a little walk and talk, Dennis Michael Lynch style, in the office. So you get to see what we've been working on. You get to see our guys at work, behind the scenes, producing the show, communicating with the cameraman. Unless Mr. Trump surprises us all and comes out early. But 10,000 viewers will get a surprise. I know 10,000 viewers will happen. Just be patient, and as soon as it happens, we're gonna go with it. By the way, download all of our music at rsbn.tv/donates. rsbn.tv, quiet on the set, /donate. And Jacob is standing by as well. I may have him say a few words later after the rally. But please support RSBN Music at rsbnmusic.bandcamp.com. That's rsbnmusic.bandcamp.com.
celebrate our great country. We ask that you would be with all of our troops who are away from their families this Christmas season. Keep them safe and return them home to their families. Words cannot express how thankful we are for their service. We ask that you would bless our new president, Donald Trump, and that he would be blessed just like the rest of our country. Finally, we ask that you would bless our rally today in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Hello, everybody. My name's Brad Courtney, and I'm chairman of the Republican Party of Wisconsin. And one thing I want to mention, next Monday, December 19th, at 12 noon, I have the privilege of being one of the 10 electors for Wisconsin. And I am proudly going to go to Madison and vote for Donald J. Trump for the next president. Secondly, I just want to thank everybody out here for all their hard work over the last 6 years. We have just done so many wonderful things here in Wisconsin. I want to thank our legislators for showing such courage. Keep praying for them because, again, they need it. They've done the right thing. But I also want to encourage people, stay involved. And when our legislators go astray, remind them the right things. Keep the pressure on, and again, thank you for your support, and God bless America. Now it's my privilege to honor America by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Fantastic. Let me start the way I always have during this campaign by giving honor to our law enforcement officers all across America. Blue lives matter in America. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I'm still euphoric over what we the people accomplished on November 8th. We did it. We shocked the world. You know, I said during the campaign that then candidate for President Donald Trump and now President-elect Donald Trump used a Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope strategy on the fake news network. Now, you know who the fake news network is, right? The New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, MSNBC, the Huffington Post. Folks, they all took their best shot at trying to bring President-elect Donald Trump and Vice President-elect Mike Pence down with their lies, their corruption, and their scheming, but it did not work. Now, some of you may remember that Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope strategy. He laid on the ropes. Donald Trump laid on the ropes and took their best shot. Every once in a while, Donald Trump would look up at the media and say, "Is that all you got?" And in the final push toward November 8th, with your help, we knocked them out and shocked the world. Folks, the fake news network did not know what hit them. The New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, the Huffington Post, MSNBC, they were down for a bit, but they've come back, continuing their attacks to sabotage and undermine our duly elected and soon-to-be President and Vice President of the United States, Donald Trump and Mike Pence. Now, you saw what happened after November 8th. First, it was the riots that followed Election Day. And then it was the smear fake news to discredit what we the people did on November 8th. Then it was recounts. And now it's the Russian conspiracy in the election. Folks, we are talking about a new level of stupid from the American left. And now a so-called bipartisan group of members of Congress are calling for investigations into the Russian influence in the election. Think about this. Let me tell you this, if Congress wants to investigate something, they should investigate billionaire George Soros and his attempt to influence this election for Democrats, like funding people to show up at Trump rallies to threaten Trump supporters. Congress should investigate George Soros-funded post-election riots that destroyed property and got innocent people hurt. Congress should further investigate the IRS for going after law-abiding citizens participating in First Amendment protected political activity. And what about this? This one takes the cake. Where's the investigation into threatening the electors in the Electoral College into changing their moral, and in some cases legal, responsibility to vote for Donald J. Trump and Mike Pence? Where's the investigation? Here's the law. Here's the law. The law is very clear. In a nation of laws, the law is 18 U.S.C.S. 594, and it says, in part, whoever intimidates, threatens, coerces, or attempts to intimidate, threaten, or coerce any person for the purpose of interfering with the right of such other persons to vote as he or she may choose to vote for any candidate for the office of president, vice president, here's the key word, or presidential electors shall be fined and not imprisoned for more than 1 year or both. This is a criminal act. Where is Loretta Lynch? Where is James Comey? Why are they not enforcing the rule of law to protect our political process? You see, most of you know with the Democrats, defeat is never final. They just regroup and begin what I call a campaign of menace. It's designed to distract and intimidate. They're trying to slow President-elect Donald Trump and Vice President-elect Mike Pence down from moving this agenda forward to make America great again. Now, folks, here's where you, the people, come in. You got to be ready. Are you ready? No, I mean, are you really ready? Because we are going to have to do a lot more heavy lifting to help Donald Trump and Mike Pence push back against this subversive movement. Do you have your pitchforks and torches ready? You know, the left hates when I use that metaphor, but I don't care. You know, when this campaign started after the Republican convention, I told Donald Trump that I would do everything that I could to help him become the 45th President of the United States. It's one of my most proudest achievements. Now, Donald Trump and Mike Pence can count on me. Can they count on you? Ladies and gentlemen, God bless all of you for what you did, and may God continue to bless these United States of America. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Congressman from Wisconsin's 7th District, Sean Duffy.
How are you guys doing? This is a great-looking Milwaukee and Wisconsin crowd for Donald Trump. Now, I gotta tell you what, it's a little cold out here in Wisconsin. And how many of you were waiting outside in that cold weather? Only in Wisconsin, you'll see guys and gals waiting for hours to go to the Green Bay Packer game or to a Donald Trump rally. Now, on election night, when Wisconsin was called for Donald Trump, that's when America knew that Donald Trump would be the next president of the United States of America. It was all of you in this room, all of us throughout our state who worked so hard that put Donald Trump over the edge and made sure we had those 270 electoral votes. Now, and we are not going to allow those whiny, sore losers to diminish our victory. And so speaking of Democrats, they've tried this before, haven't they? They tried to recall Scott Walker, and he won by a bigger margin. They tried to defeat Ron Johnson, but he beat Russ Feingold by a bigger margin. And they tried a recount in Wisconsin, but Donald Trump won by a bigger margin. This is the first time since 1984 that Wisconsin has voted for a Republican presidential nominee. Not since Ronald Reagan have we voted for a Republican. And like Ronald Reagan, Trump has a heart for the American worker. He's all about saving American jobs. Just think, before he's the president of the United States of America, he's president-elect, and he goes into Indiana and works with Carrier and saves 1,000 American jobs. And he's just getting started. Now, isn't it time that we had a leader who put America first? Someone who puts you and your job and your family first. Someone who wants the world to buy American again. Now, Democrats say they also want the world to buy American again. Yeah. But they don't want to drill for American oil. They don't want to build American pipelines. They don't want to drill or dig for American coal. And they don't want to mine for American iron to make American steel. These are great American jobs. These are great union jobs. So let me just tell you guys what. Build a wall, that's right. Here we go. Listen, you guys. You guys, I love you guys. You guys gave us a pro-American Republican U.S. House of Representatives. You gave us a pro-American Republican U.S. Senate, and you gave us Donald Trump. I promise you, we will not let you down. We won't let you down. And I won't forget all of your votes and all of your help. And when we go back to Washington, we are going to work our hearts out to make sure that we keep that promise that Donald Trump has said so often, that we are going to make America safe again. We're going to make America prosperous again. And with Donald Trump and this great Wisconsin team, we are going to make America great again. And so now I have one of the coolest, greatest privileges of introducing our next speaker. Someone who, like Donald Trump, all the pollsters and all the pundits said he could not win. He's a businessman like Donald Trump. Help us give that warm Wisconsin welcome to our newly elected U.S. Senator, Ron Johnson.
Hello, fellow patriots. Hello. God bless you all. God bless you all. You know, I'm here just to say thank you. Donald Trump, Mike Pence, Reince Priebus, Scott Walker, Sean Duffy, Paul Ryan, they're all here to say thank you. You know, as Sean said, everybody, and I mean everybody around the country, everybody in Washington, D.C. had written off this Senate seat. No way could Wisconsin deliver this Senate seat. But we did it. We did it. We did it. I remember Newt Gingrich called me up about a year ago and said the only reason Harry Truman ever became president because 6 Senate Democrats outperformed him on their state ballots. That established the goal for myself. And I conveyed that goal to every Lincoln Day dinner, every party gathering, every victory center, that don't worry about what everybody else says. Don't worry what's happening around the country. We've got a job to do here in Wisconsin. And we did it. Do you realize through your efforts, this Senate seat got more votes than any other Republican statewide candidate in the history of the state? That's what you did, your tireless efforts. So we knew what this election was about. We had to save the Senate seat. We had to make sure our 10 electoral votes in Wisconsin would be voted for Donald Trump, and that's what's going to happen. But we also knew that this was about saving the Supreme Court. And Wisconsin, we saved the Supreme Court. And you can rest assured that Donald Trump will nominate a judge, somebody like Justice Scalia, that has the integrity and the faithfulness to the law for the Supreme Court, and we will confirm that judge. You have to understand what we've accomplished here. We've saved the Supreme Court. We will stop howling our military. We will secure the border. We will defeat ISIS. These are big things. You did this. You did this. Here in Wisconsin, we did this. Now, we're going to need a lot of help and support. I've said repeatedly that the two things people say to me on the street when I meet them is, first of all, you're in our prayers. And secondly, why don't you guys just accomplish something? Well, tell you what, we will accomplish something with your help and with your prayers, and that's what I'm asking you. I'm thanking you, and I'm asking for your ongoing support, your ongoing prayers, so we can make America great again. God bless all of you.
Joe Seals back here with you in the Right Side Broadcasting Network studios here in Auburn, Alabama. A special hello for those of you who are still, for some reason, watching us on the Right Side Broadcasting studio camera. 24 hours a day here in the office. You can watch us do our thing and bring you the coverage. We are live. Our cameras are live in West Allis, Wisconsin right now for the Donald Trump Thank You Tour. 3 more rallies after this. Mr. Trump plans will be in Hershey, Pennsylvania on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern at the Giant Center, and then we are headed south, where on Friday we'll be in Orlando, Florida, and Mobile, Alabama. A great honor for us on Saturday in Mobile is that we will be there, and we will have our feed being used by the venue on the huge Jumbotron there at Lad People Stadium as the camera that everybody sees there. So we'll be on the Jumbotron. That is a huge honor for us. We are very appreciative for that and for all the help that you've given us over the last year to grow into what we've become now. If you're not watching our studio cam, you can watch it anytime. You can see our offices that we have set up here. We have crews out in the field. We have new programs starting next week, Raised Right with Cassie Dillon and Will Nardi, a show for young conservatives, for millennials, for even teenagers. We'll be exploring issues on campus, liberal bias on campus, etc. It's going to be great. The programming that we have for you has taken a long time to put together for some media outsiders who don't have any experience doing this, but we really hope that you will please continue to contribute to us. I know it's a dead horse that I keep beating, but man, tell you what, it is very hard to survive out here in this world when you're competing against the mainstream media. We are trying a new media platform. We want to change the way the media operates, and we're not going anywhere with it. But we need your help. If you can donate to us, anything at all helps us at rsbn.tv/donate. We are the only camera rally that's being broadcast on YouTube right now, with the exception of the Fox affiliates, any of the local affiliates out there doing this. That is a legit feed. I want to remind everybody that we are spending our own money we're spending your money, donation-wise, and ours, getting you to these. Hey, guys, quiet on set. Getting us to these rallies. It is very expensive for us to travel. So you and your help has enabled us to get there. It costs thousands of dollars to be at every one of these events. And plus, we just spent $60,000 furnishing this office with all the technology that we need. So I know that Mr. Trump won the election. That's phase one. We got that. But now we have to start the business of making America great again, and to hold the people accountable and make sure that Mr. Trump follows through on his promises. We want to be a fair, non-biased platform. Obviously, you know that we're conservative here, but we also want to make sure that people know that we'll be your voice no matter what. We're not a propaganda arm of anybody. So if you'll help us, we really appreciate that. We're going to give you a tour of our new studios tonight. You want to hang around after the broadcast for that. If Mr. Trump is a little bit late, we may do it in between broadcasts, but we're going to give you a little tour of our studio here and sort of let you know the things that you're going to be seeing next week here on the Right Side Broadcasting Network. You can always see us live 24 hours a day on our studio cam. Please check us out on YouTube or at rsbn.tv. Please donate, rsbn.tv/donate. We hope to see you. If you're at one of these last 3 rallies, please come up, say hello, introduce yourself. We'll put you on camera. We love the signs, the RSBN signs that we see at the rallies. Very, very cool. So I'm going to sign off now, and we'll see what we're going to do here for you in just a second in regards to a studio tour, if we're going to wait till the end. Thank you. Folks, stand by. We're going to give you a quick tour of the studio. And if Mr. Trump comes out, we'll make sure to break in so you don't miss any of that speech. Just give us 1 minute here. We're going to get set up. All right. Hey, guys. Good audio? Yes. We're live. We're live. Welcome to our studio here at RSBN.
Can I say hi? Hi from Alabama. Adam Taxon here from the pregame shows. I'm going to stop saying that soon because I'm moving on to other things. I hope you're enjoying our coverage of President-elect Trump's thank you tour tonight in West Allis, Wisconsin. I had to look it up. That's near Milwaukee. Some geography for you. So we here at RSBN are proud to be the only ones outside, of course, the so-called mainstream media who are legitimately broadcasting this rally. And I may be being less than subtle there, but that's okay. That's on purpose. And I mention legitimately because some other sites have been stealing our feed lately. Actually, they've been doing that for a while, but we're calling attention to it. That's not cool, and I'm, of course, the arbiter of what is cool. It's not cool because we're working hard and spending our own money to cover these rallies to bring them to you. And it's not a little bit of money, it's a lot of money. But you want the crowd shots, and you want so much more than crowd shots that you've come to appreciate from our coverage. You saw Cassie and Will a few days ago doing a great job with a pregame. But it's not cheap to cover these rallies. We have to pay for things. Add it up. Cameraman, airfare, hotel, bail money. Well, I'm kidding about that last one. But we do roll the dice financially to do it for you. I'm going to take them into the break room and kitchen here. So we do roll the dice financially. We've been taking risks. We know time is of the essence. We can't wait till we have all the money we could potentially need to spend it. We've taken financial risks. I'm emphasizing that for a reason. And one of those things is to bring you a lot more exciting new programming. We know what's going to happen on January 2nd. You're going to say, where's the new programming? So we want to have as much of that ready for you as possible throughout the next couple weeks. Some of you may have seen the test version of RSBN Tonight last night, featuring me. We also have a new show, the show Raised Right with Cassie and Will. You're going to come to love them. I'm already starting to. I've never even met them, but I've seen their work. Their show's going to be fun. It's going to go right to the heart of Special Snowflake Nation. And it's going to talk to all those highly over-educated cupcakes on college campuses, can't buy, who are being so expensively educated and are so much better than the people who would vote for Donald Trump. You know the type. You know the type. Lots of other stuff too, but like with rallies, this all costs money. And we are not like CNN or MSHRC with their huge corporate budget, their 40-story skyscrapers, and fill in the blank with whatever else. What we have, and you're seeing right now, is a 1,400 square foot office in Alabama. And even this is Alabama. Costs are a little bit lower here, and it's not an accident that we're there. This office, this not that big office you're seeing right now, it costs us $60,000 to set up. And what's our main source of funding to be able to bring you all this programming? It's donations, as the joke says. What's the best nation? Donation. Yeah, we make some money off advertising, but our main source of funding, for now at least, is donations, because we have huge expenditures. And also, you know, we don't want to hit you with an ad every 5 minutes like some people will do, because we're trying to build a loyal audience. We're trying to treat you with respect. We don't want to oversaturate you with ads. And also, you know that you've come to know the term clickbait in the last few years. We're not doing things to clickbait you. Do you know what I mean? Most of you know what I mean. But for those of you who don't, we're not hitting you with, quote, articles. And those articles would explode with clicky ads, which say things like, all in caps, will this epic meme have Barack Obama taking the next plane back to Kenya? Vote now and forward this if you're a real patriot. You get the point. So if you like what you're seeing on our network and you want to see more, we would be super grateful if you can make a donation. And no, we're not going to be cheesy and tie it into the holiday season. Happy holidays, everyone. And I'm kidding about that. I know what Trump says, and I'm with you. Merry Christmas. And for me and my mishpacha, Happy Hanukkah, of course. Even if you can't spare a lot this holiday season, and not because it's the holiday season, but it just happens to be the holiday season, every little bit of helps, every little bit that you can spare helps. We want to be your alternative media. The big networks, they just don't get it anymore. And yeah, you know who I'm including in that. There is one network we like better than the others of the so-called mainstream media. You know who I'm talking about. Hint, it features people like Megan Kelly, Schlepp Smith, Megan McVeigh. You know who I'm talking about. But even they don't get us, even though we like them a little better. What we're doing here is taking on the big media. We're using the various great... Do you want me to show them a little bit more? Like maybe the break room again? You know, it's dinner time. I can show them. Come on. The bathroom? No bathroom, right? You keep it so neat. Okay, back to the point. We're taking on the big media. We're using the various great technologies and tools and information that are gathering that are available to us in December 26th. Yeah, the other networks do it to some extent, but they're still stuck in this Uncle Walter Cronkite mentality, or Grandpa Walter, who lies to you about sabotages our Vietnam effort, but that's another matter. What we're doing, sorry, I digress sometimes, you know that. We're starting something new and exciting for you here, and with your help, it's going to get bigger and bigger. Wait, it's going to get huger and huger. Thanks, guys. Something else. Okay, let's talk corporate structure. We're not willing to sell this network to some big investor, because then, what do you know? We'll have to do what the investor wants, not what we want, and probably not what you want. In fact, we're not even selling little pieces of the company. Or to be accurate, the way the ownership is set up here, the founder, Joe Seals, is not selling any pieces. He's the boss. We don't want to have to make concessions even to minority investors, and that can be a problem even when it's a minority investor. If you don't think that has some impact on what you see on Fox News, I won't go there right now. RSBN is not raising money by issuing stock or anything. We do get a lot of offers for that kind of thing, but we don't want to have to give up control and decision-making of this amazing thing that we're building with you here. And we really don't want to compromise the decision-making structure that, let's be honest, has worked really well for us so far. Consider where we were. We didn't exist a year and a half ago. And, you know, I got to give credit to the boss. It's his birthday, by the way. And this isn't just because it's his birthday. That's because Joe Seals is a really good boss with a vision. By him doing that, a lot of people work for bad bosses. I've been there, but it's a pleasure to work for a good boss who you feel confident in. It frees the rest of us to do our work. And I'm not just saying that because it's his birthday. A good boss allows you to focus on what you need to be focusing on. We're not that, maybe you heard about this, the Marxist vegan place in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, I think. And, you know, they tried every employee makes the same amount. And every employee is paid the same amount and has equal say. And guess what? They just went out of business. So we all have specific roles. I know my role. We all know our roles. And it's worked pretty well. And speaking for myself, I've been able to thrive with that. Hopefully do my job the best I can. Hopefully you appreciate it. This is all a good thing. Oh yeah, the structure. I don't know if anyone's talked about this before, but it's common for employees of startups to be paid in stock that who knows whether it'll even vest within 10 years or even vest at all. Yeah, it would have been great to get in on Microsoft at the beginning, but most companies you've never heard of and the stock is worthless. I appreciate that I'm paid in actual money. I think we all do. Wouldn't you appreciate that? And I'm pretty sure the other employees feel that way. Who knows if I would even work here or the others would even work here if there was some sort of alternative arrangement. That's common though for startups like ours. But having dedicated, talented people here at RSBN is working for you, and it works out well for you, our audience. At least we hope that. Why would you be watching otherwise? On that note, we're finalizing an agreement now to bring in someone great to help with a lot of the more ambitious creative stuff that we're trying to do. We can't go into detail about it yet, but he's a veteran of the TV industry who actually himself is credited as the writer. We can't say what, we're not trying to be teased, but he's the writer of a very famous Seinfeld episode. He's worked with Saturday Night Live. Yeah, I know there's a liberal bias, but work with me here. He left the TV industry for a while because he was freaking tired of the Ivy League leftist bias, that lack of innovation that's the case in the TV industry, and that's the news industry and so much of the TV industry. Even the so-called comedy, I don't know, is comedy Trevor Noah? He's not funny. But the man I'm talking about is very excited about what we're doing here. He reached out to us. So we're trying to jump at a ridiculous opportunity. We have to hire this guy. But he's not going to work for free. He's definitely not going to work for stock options. And we hope to announce his hire soon. So you know what I'm saying here. These things cost money. So we're so appreciative of those of you who make donations, and we would appreciate it if you would donate more. We hate to ask you, believe me, but it will let us do all that we have planned. And again, I can't emphasize enough, I've traveled, I've been on the road, how appreciative we are for what you do. I don't forget this kind of thing, none of us do. You've heard me enough, that's not why you're here, so let's get back. The president-elect must be coming on very soon, so let's get back to the rally in West Allis, Wisconsin.
rsbn.tv/donate.
Yes.
Thank you guys for your time.
talk about Texas or Amarillo skies. Don't talk about Houston or them Austin City nights. Don't talk about Galveston or sweet, sweet Abilene. Don't talk about Texas. Hey, mister, can I bum a ride? Anywhere you're gone is fine, as long as it's out of town. I could even fill your tank as a way that I can say thanks. I'm feeling kinda down. We can talk about anything that you want to, except one thing, mister, I'm begging you. Don't talk about Texas or Amarillo skies. Don't talk about Houston or them Austin City nights. Don't talk about Galveston or sweet, sweet Abilene. Don't talk about Texas. That's where she said goodbye to me. Well, I remember when she fell in love with me on that Corpus Christi beach. It felt so right. And I remember how her green eyes used to shine, and the taste on her sweet lips was like cherry wine. We can talk about any state that we've been through, except the one where I hitched this ride with you. Don't talk about Texas or Amarillo skies. Don't talk about Houston or them Austin City lights.
Go see us here live at Right Side Broadcasting Studios in Auburn. Hope you enjoyed our little studio tour there. Just a quick little hello here to tell you we are now live on Mr. President-elect Donald Trump's Facebook page. We're simulcasting there tonight. A great honor for us to be a part of all this and to work with the fine people at the Trump organization there. You can watch it live on either source, but we hope you'll stay here with us and watch it there, and watch it here with us right here on Right Side Broadcasting. You can also look at our studio camera where I am kicked back and relaxed right now. Just go to our YouTube channel page at rsbn.tv. You can also watch it on the main YouTube channel page at youtube.com/rightsideradio. You can see us anytime, all day long. We will be keeping some late hours here coming up really soon. You'll find out why. You don't want to miss it coming up here, right on the right side, broadcast on the right side of history.
Don't talk about Texas. So don't you talk about Texas or Amarillo skies. Don't talk about Houston or them Austin City lights. Don't talk about Galveston or sweet, sweet Abilene. Don't talk about Texas. That's where she said goodbye to me.
note about the Huffington Post article that just came out about White House press credentials for Right Side Broadcasting. Who are these guys? Look, maybe we're premature. I said that we were getting well. Look, I've been told that we would. Now, here's the story. We can't make it into their little club the legit way, I'm sure. But we're going to look. We're doing everything we can. We definitely will have a presence in Washington. I'll tell you that. And look, we'll see what happens. But we're doing everything we can. And I'm looking at the chat room right now in the studio camera, and I'm seeing something. Joe, up, not down. What are you not hearing? All right, I'll get to that. Enjoy the show. We'll try not to bother you before Mr. Trump comes back on again.
Man, it's great to be back in Wisconsin again. Hey, Wisconsin, how does it feel to win? Even better, how does it feel to win twice? I think we had a recount
And then after we spent all kinds of money and went through the process, Donald Trump picked up even more votes than when he started. Well, you have to admit now, the only thing you all know how to do in Wisconsin for the Republican Party and conservative candidates is win. That's all you do is win. Now we got to make sure the Packers keep winning, right? So that we can get back to the Super Bowl. Well, you guys have a lot to be proud of. You've got a great organization here, the Trump campaign, the Republican Party, everyone together. The reason it worked was that we were a team. Everybody, and Brad Courtney and Pete Meacham, Sean Duffy's organization, the entire team did something that was so special. And it couldn't have happened without everyone here. I want to thank you. I want to thank the people of Wisconsin for once again, as you've been doing year after year after year with that great governor named Scott Walker, is win. But pave the way to the future. It started here in Wisconsin. It started with that Walker Revolution, with that huge victory, and Act 10, prevailing wage, all the things that Scott got done with Republicans in the legislature, paving the light of freedom for the rest of the country. And that night, when the exit polls came out and we weren't sure how things were going to go, it was Wisconsin that brought it home for the United States of America. And it was the battle for freedom that was won once again in the Badger State. And you did it. And when President-elect Trump walked up to that stage, he talked about the future of this country and the kind of president that he would be. That he would be a president for all Americans, no matter who you are, where you come from, what your gender, your race, your background, it didn't matter. Donald Trump was going to be for you, and together we're going to make America great again. And don't forget the things that he promised: a strong America, tax reform, repeal and replace Obamacare, repeal those executive orders, begin the process of eliminating and defeating ISIS once and for all across the world, securing our southern border once and for all, you all did it. You did it here in Wisconsin, once again, paving the way for America. We're so proud to be from this awesome state. We're so proud to have all of the battles that we've fought together and won year after year after year. And we're proud, and I'm proud, to introduce the person that helped launch this revolution, one of the greatest governors in the state of Wisconsin, our governor and my governor, the man we're so proud of. Please welcome Governor Scott Walker.
Good evening. Hey, thanks, Dave. I love that flag over there. Thanks, Dave Zine. You know, freedom, endowed by our Creator, defined by our Constitution, but defended each and every day by the men and women who proudly wear the uniform of these United States. Let's thank all of our veterans here tonight. I was just in Afghanistan last week speaking to our troops there and in Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, and Germany, and I got to tell you, one of the best news for them, particularly in that hot spot in Afghanistan, don't let anybody fool you, it is still a difficult place for our men and women in uniform, but one of the greatest pieces of news when they heard that our next president was nominating General Jim Mattis to be the next Secretary of Defense. They were pumped up because they knew this was a leader who was going to make decisions based on security and military and not political decisions. That's why we needed a new president and a new vice president who are going to lead this country forward, and that's one of the best decisions they've made thus far. And I want to tell you, what a great crowd. We came in. I know there's still people coming in, but once again, Wisconsin led the way this last November. Thank you to all of you here. Think about it. I look around this crowd and I think back 6 years ago, you helped us transform this state. In November of 2010, you sent us as a new governor. You helped elect a new lieutenant governor. You elected Ron Johnson and Sean Duffy and new majorities in the Assembly and the Senate. And then a week later, we said it's put up or shut up time, and we delivered on our promises. You helped us do that. In fact, you helped us deliver on those promises so well, we didn't just win in 2010. We won again in 2012, and we won again in 2014, not just in the recall and the re-elect, but in the state assembly and the state senate. Those common sense conservative reforms worked so well, we added seats in 12 and in 14, and again last month in 2016 to one of the largest levels of Republican majorities we've had in our state's history. And we did it because common sense conservative reforms work. In fact, today, if you're getting your property tax bills, be thankful that a median valued home in this state is you're paying on average $116 less than you would have 6 years ago before we took charge. And now we have an incredible opportunity, thanks to the voters in this state, by sending a new president and vice president along with a House and a Senate to take some of that common sense conservative reforms from Wisconsin and apply it to Washington, where they desperately need more common sense. You know, think about this. For the first time since Paul Ryan and Reince Priebus and I, which, by the way, people ask us, what happened? We all grew up in south central Wisconsin. Paul was in Janesville. I was in Delavan. Reince was just outside of Kenosha. They say, what was in the water? I tell them it was beer. It wasn't water, it was beer. But you think about that. For the first time since Reince and Paul and I were in school, Wisconsin went Republican for president for the first time since 1984. You helped change America. And we didn't just win the hearts and minds of the voters, we even won the next generation. My son Alex here tonight is the chair of the College Republicans for the state, and 18 to 24-year-olds went, majority of them, or the plurality of them, we won for Trump and Pence and for Ron Johnson for the United States Senate. And now with your help, we elect Trump and Pence as our next president and vice president of the United States. We sent Ron Johnson back to the United States Senate. We elected Mike Gallagher to the Congress in the Northeast for the first time. We sent back great people like Sean Duffy to the Congress, along with Glenn Grothman and Jim Sensenbrenner and the rest of the team to do the job. And then you're going to hear in a moment from the man who's going to help in the Congress lead the way so that this president and vice president can work together with the House Republicans, Senate Republicans, and make things happen in this country. I'm excited about the possibility because I know with tax reform, with national security, securing our border, reforming our government, putting the power back in the hands of the people in the states, and more importantly, the hands of each and every one of you, that's going to happen. Because we've got a team in Washington that shares the kind of common sense reforms we've enacted here in this state. And one of the key people who's going to make that happen is our next speaker, the Speaker of the House, my friend, your friend from Janesville, Wisconsin, Paul Ryan.
Wisconsin, how about it, huh? Oh my gosh. Is this not so cool? Is this not incredible? It was before I had my driver's license the last time Wisconsin went Republican. This is amazing. Here's what I want you to know. Because of the hard work of the people in this room, you are helping us get this country back on track. I want to thank Donald Trump. I want to thank Mike Pence for helping Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, the Midwest finally see the light of the day and put a Republican back in the White House. I also want to thank you for sending us Ron Johnson back to the United States Senate. Ron Johnson's here with us tonight. We have got so much work to do, and I got to tell you something. The last 8 years, they have not been fun or pleasant years in Washington. The last 8 years with Barack Obama have been years of divided government. And that is why we're so excited about having 4 years of a unified Republican government to rebuild our military, to reform our tax code, to clean up the regulations, to repeal and replace Obamacare, and to get people working in this country again. That's why we're here. That's why we're so thankful. Join me in saying thanks and in welcoming a man from the heart of the conservative movement, a man from the heartland itself, a person we're going to be so proud in just about a month to call our Vice President of the United States. Join me in welcoming the next Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence. All right, go get him.
Hello, Wisconsin. I'm Mike Pence. I'm from Indiana. And because of your support, your hard work, and your prayers, 37 days from today, I am deeply humbled to say it will be my honor to raise my right hand and take the oath of office to serve as Vice President of the United States of America. I came here tonight on behalf of my little family, first just to say thank you. Thank you for the honor to serve. But mostly I'm here tonight as a fellow American to say thanks to the people of Wisconsin. Thank you for voting to make America great again on November the 8th. Thank you, Wisconsin, for doing your part to make Donald Trump the 45th President of the United States of America. He did it. And we have all of you to thank. Thanks to you, America will finally have a president who will rebuild our military, restore the arsenal of democracy, provide our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard with the resources and training they need to accomplish their mission, and we will have a commander-in-chief who will hunt down and destroy ISIS at its source. Thanks to you. Thanks to you. Thanks to you, we'll have a president who will stand with the men and women who serve in law enforcement across this nation at every level.
We will provide them the resources and the tools to protect our families and go home safe to theirs, and we will have a president who will not rest until we restore law and order to every city and every community in this land. And thanks to you, we will have a president who will fight every day to make the American economy great again. In just 37 days, we'll have a president who will repeal Obamacare lock, stock, and barrel and replace it with free market solutions to health care reform. We'll have a president who will cut taxes, roll back excessive regulations, and repeal every single unconstitutional executive order signed by Barack Obama. And thanks to you, we'll have a president who will put American workers and American jobs first. We'll have trade deals that work for the American people first, and we'll fight every day to make sure that trade means jobs, but trade means American jobs. And thanks to you, we're going to at last have a president who will enforce the laws of this nation for the citizens of this nation. We will build a wall, uphold our laws, and end illegal immigration once and for all. And thanks to you. And thanks to you, we're going to have a government as good as our people again. We're going to have a government in Washington, D.C. that works every day for the people of this country and not the special interests. We're going to have a president who works with the Congress to reform our ethics laws, and we're going to drain the swamp. And lastly, and thanks to you, we're going to have a president of the United States who will make appointments to the highest court in the land, that will uphold the sanctity of life, our Second Amendment, and all the God-given liberties enshrined in the Constitution of the United States. Thanks to you. So I'm really here to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for giving America a new president. Thank you for giving America a new president whose strength, whose vision, whose leadership will make America great again faster than you could possibly imagine. So I say with a grateful heart that it is my high honor and distinct privilege to introduce to all of you across the great state of Wisconsin the President-elect of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Detroit down to Houston and New York.
Thank you, everybody. So when I started 18 months ago, I told my first crowd in Wisconsin that we're going to come back here someday and we are going to say Merry Christmas again. Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year, but Merry Christmas. And I'm here today for one main reason, to say thank you to the people of Wisconsin. Incredible people. And you know, a wonderful thing, because now after millions and millions of dollars were wasted and countless hours were spent, the recount vote has come back. You know, I called it a scam, but I won't say that because we want to be nice, okay? So I refuse to say it was a scam tonight, all right? This way they can't report that I said it. And after all of this money was spent by the Democrats, believe me, they were behind it, okay? And the Green Party, wonderful party. She got less than 1%, but she thought she was going to catch us. All that money, all that time, all that effort, we got 131 votes more than we had before. I think it was worth it. Well, they spent $3.5 million, $4 million for 131 votes. That's okay. Tells you how important every single vote in America is, right? We won Wisconsin for the first time since 1984, 32 years ago. You went out and you pounded the pavement, organized your fellow citizens, and propelled to victory a grassroots movement, the likes of which the world has never seen before. Now, all over the world they're talking about this, and they're now comparing what is happening in other places, faraway places, with what happened here. So, and Brexit now is sort of a small version of what we did. But I predicted Brexit. And when I predicted Brexit, they all said, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And when it happened, they refused to acknowledge that I predicted it, which is standard. I will never forget you, and I will never, ever stop fighting for you, okay? Never. I'm honored to be here tonight with our incredible Wisconsin leadership team. Sheriff David Clark, where are these people? Sheriff Clark. Senator Ron Johnson, come from behind. He came from behind. Governor Scott Walker, where's Scott? Oh, man. He was tough. He was great. He's a great governor. He really is. He's a great person, and he's a great governor. And I went against him for a while, and I want to tell you, he was tough. So now it's going to be your turn very soon. I don't know. You and Pence are going to have to fight it out. I don't know. Thank you, Governor. Appreciate it. Speaker Paul Ryan, I've really come to I've come to appreciate him. Speaker Paul Ryan. Where's Speaker? Where is he? He has been, I'll tell you, he has been terrific. And you know, honestly, he's like a fine wine. Every day goes by, I get to appreciate his genius more and more. Now, if he ever goes against me, I'm not going to say that, okay? He's a great guy, and we have some amazing things in store. And we're going to work on taxes. We're going to work on Obamacare. We're going to work on things, and he's going to lead the way. So thank you. Oh, we're going to work on the wall, Paul. Well, it's true. Somebody said, look at these guys. You think we're playing games, right? Somebody said the other day, well, now that Trump won, he's really not going to build the wall. I said, we're going to build the wall, okay? Believe me. We're going to build the wall. You have to. Got to stop the drugs from coming in, and the wall's going to be a big, big factor. And I also want to thank a man who is another star from your territories. There's some very good water in this state. Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. Fantastic guy. Fantastic guy. He's done an incredible job. And now he's a superstar. You know, I thought he was a superstar, but you got to win to be a superstar, right? You got to win. I said, Reince, you are a superstar, but we got to win first before I really go crazy. And we won, so now you're the superstar that we said. Together, we're going to Washington. Whoop, whoop. Are you okay? Do we have a doctor in the house, please? Doctor in the house? Doctor in the house. Okay. Good. We love this lady. Doctor in the house. Thank you. We love this lady. We love everybody. We love everybody. That woman who I've seen before is terrific. Make sure she's perfect. Make sure she's okay. Okay, take your time. We have time, right? We have time. Together, we're going to make Washington answer to the people once again. We're going to put the government to work for you, first time in a long time. The whole world is recognizing our movement. It's because of you. And by the way, again, a movement that they've never seen before. They didn't know what hit them. They didn't know what happened. And it's because of you that we, all of us, were just honored with the Time Magazine Person of the Year. And just a little while ago it was announced that we were also honored with the Financial Times Person of the Year. So that's great. See, in the old days, it was called the Man of the Year, right? Now they call it okay, so let me do this. And we have a lot of women here. I got to do it. Okay, do you mind? Would you prefer? I'll go Person of the Year, then Man of the Year, Person of the Year, Man of the Year. Okay. What should it be? I'm doing this for all of your politicians over here. Not that we're going to change at this point. Would you rather see Person of the Year? Man of the Year. These guys are so politically correct. Now, so far I've done that 3 times, and I'll tell you what, Person of the Year is not doing well. I also want to give a very special thanks to all of our great veterans that are here, service members, military families. By the way, the military and law enforcement, I don't know what our numbers were, but I know they were record-setting highs. So to all of those veterans and service people and law enforcement people, I want to thank you because you are special people, special, special people. Because the fact is that America's men and women in uniform are the finest and bravest the world has ever known. We're going through something very, very difficult in the world and even in our country, the world has ever known. So to all of you who have worn the uniform, I say to you now on behalf of a very grateful nation, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're in your debt, and we will never let you down. We will honor your service and sacrifice. And that begins with defending and respecting the American flag. don't like seeing people burning our American flag, okay? We don't like it. And we're going to take a look at that, okay, folks? All right? We're going to take a look at that. We'll all take a look at that together. One man who understands the meaning of service is somebody that's become unbelievably popular because he's tough, he's strong, and he doesn't lose. General Mad Dog Mattis, right? He is a popular guy because of his record. You ever hear somebody named Vince Lombardi? You've never heard of Vince Lombardi. Never. He was popular too because he wins. We like people that win. We want to start winning again. Our country's going to start winning again, okay? Would anybody like to keep it the way it is? I don't think. We're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win a lot. We're going to win so much, you're going to go to Paul Ryan, you're going to go, Mr. Speaker, please, please, we can't stand winning this much. We can't take it. And he's going to come to see me and he's going to, Mr. President, the people in Wisconsin are tired of winning so much. You're winning with health care. We're winning on the border. We're winning with ISIS because we are going to get ISIS out. We're winning all over, Mr. President. They just can't take it anymore. I say, Paul, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You have to go back and tell them we're going to keep winning and winning and winning, whether they like it or not. Last week, I formally announced my plans to nominate General Mattis as your new Secretary of Defense. And I believe we're in the process of putting together one of the great cabinets, certainly a cabinet with the highest IQ that anybody has ever. I mean, these are seriously great people. Did you see today? The president of Goldman Sachs. This is the president of, that's big stuff. And we have General Kelly. We have incredible people. Dr. Ben Carson, great guy. I think it's going to be one of the great cabinets ever, ever, ever. Leaders and titans of industry, art, sports, science are reaching out and want to find ways to help. I mean, today, as an example, in my office, the great Jim Brown, right? Jim Brown. Bill Gates, Anna Wintour, Kanye, that's right. Right, I like Kanye. Ray Lewis. We've had so many people, they come up and they want to be a part of what we're doing, and we want to use everybody. We want to use all of the brain power because we're going to bring us back. We're going to be not only great, we're going to be greater than ever before. You watch. You watch. And tomorrow, coming up to the office, the true giants of Silicon Valley. We're going to talk about how to grow jobs. We're going to talk about how they can stay on top. We're going to talk about a lot of great things, but the real giants are coming up tomorrow, so it's going to be great. Today I announced my plans to nominate Rex Tillerson, right? The Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of ExxonMobil, to be the next Secretary of State. Rex is one of the greatest and most skilled global business leaders of our time, made some of the greatest deals ever made in the oil industry, or any industry. A great diplomat, a strong man, a tough man, a man who's already earned an avalanche of endorsements and growing praise from our nation's top leaders, including Condoleezza Rice, Bob Gates, James Baker, Dick Cheney, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, and so many more. And people are looking at this resume, and honestly, they've never seen a resume like this before. Rex will be a fierce advocate for America's interests around the world and has the insights and talents necessary to help reverse years of foreign policy blunders and disasters. Blunders and disasters. Very excited about Rex. And you know, Rex is friendly with many of the leaders in the world that we don't get along with. And some people don't like that. They don't want him to be friendly. That's why I'm doing the deal with Rex, because I like what this is all about. And we're going to have somebody that's going to be very special. America has been caught in a cycle of failed interventions that have weakened our security and undermined totally our stability. We've spent $6 trillion in the Middle East. $6 trillion. You know what that is? We could have rebuilt our country 3 times. And yet the situation today is far worse than when we started 15 years ago. Far worse. It's not even a contest. It's a mess. The cost in both dollars and lives has been immense. We need a new direction. We need a new direction. Americans' foreign policy has lacked a clear vision, a clear goal, and a clear understanding of the threats, and the threats are immense. Instead of jumping recklessly from one intervention to another, my administration will build a long-term strategy for stability, prosperity, peace, and rebuilding our own country, folks. We're going to rebuild our country. We need it. That strategy will be guided by our values, our principles, and our patriotism. We will seek goodwill among nations, a strengthening of vital alliances, and the pursuit of shared goals when interests align. And we will not be taken advantage of by other countries. We will not be. No more. No more. We'll get along great with other countries. We will not be taken advantage of. Our goal is not to build new nations in far-off lands that most of you have never even heard of, but to crush ISIS, we have no choice, and to defeat radical Islamic terrorism. My administration, with the help of Paul and Ron and everybody, will also rebuild our badly depleted military and take care of our great veterans the way they should have been taken care of for a long time. We are building up this great military power in the hope that we never have to use it. We believe strongly in peace through strength. Our military is going to be modern and powerful again, believe me. But to be a strong nation, we must also be a rich nation. Doesn't sound so nice. A woman came up to me. She said, Mr. Trump, I loved your speech, but I don't like when you say rich nation. I said, ma'am, you're a fabulous woman. But if we're not going to be a rich nation, we can't rebuild our military. We can't take care of all of the problems we have, including our medical problems. So we're going to be a rich nation. And after I spoke to her for a few minutes, she was okay. It was okay. My administration will be focused on 3 very important words: jobs, jobs, jobs. Whether it's building cars, producing steel, or curing disease, we want the next generation of innovation and production to happen right here in America and right here in Wisconsin, right? First on taxes. This is where we really need Paul. We're going to undertake one of the great tax reforms and simplifications in American history. This includes a massive tax cut for the middle class and middle class families from Wisconsin, too. We're also going to lower our business tax rate so that new companies will come to our shores and hire workers in cities like right here. Is that okay? That's what we want. We're going to bring our rates down from 35%. We're going to try and get it down to 15%. So right now, and by the way, the jobs will pour in. So right now, we're the highest taxed nation in the world. And when we finish, we'll be one of the lower tax. One of the lower. On regulations, which is perhaps even more important because our companies are dying and being strangled through regulation. We're going to eliminate all wasteful, job-killing regulations. On energy, we will cancel the restrictions on the production of American energy, including shale, oil, natural gas, and clean, beautiful coal. We're going to put our miners back to work. On infrastructure, I will ask Congress to pass legislation that produces $1 trillion of new investment in America's crumbling infrastructure, and it is crumbling. You know, I have a friend, big guy, one of the biggest in the world, trucking, and he used to buy these beautiful trucks, beautiful, beautiful, the most expensive, and he calls me up recently, he said, I can't buy them anymore, because we go from California to New York, and by the time they get to New York or California, if they're going the other way, they're all beat to hell because of the potholes on the highways. I said, was it ever like this? He's been doing this for 45 years. He said, it's never been like this. So we have to fix our infrastructure. We have no choice. And we're going to put our people back to work in the process. It's time to help get Americans off of welfare and back into the labor market. Rebuilding this country with American hands and with American workers. My administration will follow two simple rules. Buy American and hire American, right? We're going to do it. Because from now on, it's going to be America first. America first. I look at some of these deals we make and some of the treaties and some of everything, and I say, I think these people were thinking about the other nations. I honestly do. I say it's impossible for this to happen. Either that or campaign contributions were magnificent with people. But they're so bad, the deals are so bad, so disgraceful, that I actually think they're putting other countries ahead of our own. On trade, we are now, you people don't stop. So I used to say, when I used to hear this chant, let's just win on November 8th, but now we've won, right? We've won, big league. So anyway. You people, I'll tell you, tough people in Wisconsin, fellas. Right, Governor Tough? On trade, we're now running a nearly $800 billion annual trade deficit. I say, who makes these deals? Who? Now think of it. I have friends in here that are business people. Who makes these deals? $800 billion. America has lost 1/3 of our manufacturing jobs since NAFTA. We've lost 70,000 factories. Think of it, 70,000. It's like, doesn't even sound like it's possible. And I know it's right because I've said it for the last month and a half and they never corrected me, so it has to be. Because Look, it is hard to believe. Look, they're very nice. Look at all those cameras. Look at all that live television. Look at that. Who has to do this every night with all those live cameras up? Can you imagine if we made a mistake? Would it be a disaster? See, other people running for office, if they make a mistake. But if I made a mistake, a disaster, right? Look at that. You ever see so many cameras, Mr. Vice President? So, but I have to tell you, they were devastated on November 8th. They were devastated. They were devastating. Should I go over that evening just once quickly? So, it began with phony exit polls. And I got a call from my daughter at about 5 o'clock, and she was called by people in their business. And her husband, Jared, great guy, he was called. And they called me and they said, "I'm sorry, Dad, it looks really bad. Looks really, really bad." I said, "What's the problem? Tell me." Now, I was doing, it's very interesting, because I really assumed I lost. You know, look, I believe that these things are supposed to be correct. So I sort of thought I lost, and I was okay with it. I wouldn't say great. In fact, I called my vice president and I said, "It's not looking good, right, Mike?" I said, "Not looking good. You were getting the same numbers that I was getting." Of course, you know, a lot of it is phony stuff too, because they'll say, "Donald Trump is a bad person. Do you agree or not?" So people would say, "Yeah." No, but it's easier. Then they have yes in a big box like that, and they have no, you can't find. So, you know, a lot of it's phony deals going on. But I will tell you, so I got the call, and they said, "Looks bad. Looks really bad." And they want to be nice to me. They're talking this way because they wanted to be nice. They actually thought we might lose strongly. So I said, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Whatever happens, happens." Now, for the last month, I didn't do interviews. All I did was these rallies. I did 3 a day. I did 3 a day. And I'll be honest, I was surprised when I got that call, because I thought, I mean, every time we had a rally, it was, look at this building, they're still pouring in the back. So every place was like this. I mean, except we had major arenas which were packed. And then we'd have 20, 30,000 people outside. They couldn't get in. So I said, it didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense, but that's okay. Because, you know, like they say in football and in sports, he left nothing on the table, nothing on the field, all right? So it was okay. Because for the last month, I decided not to do interviews, because they give you interviews and they chop up your sentences and they cut them short. You'll have this beautiful flowing sentence where the back of the sentence reverts to the front, and they'd cut the back of the sentence off, and I'd say, "I never said that." So I said, "You know what, I'm not going to deal. They're very dishonest people." I said, "No." I said, "I'm not going to deal with them." And all I did for 1 month, I do 2 and 3 and sometimes 4 speeches a day, rallies like this, massive crowds, right? And they'd call, "Can we have an interview of Mr. Trump?" I said, "Watch me with the speech. Tell him, watch me. And whatever you want to take, you can take, all right? But watch me with the speech." So we did 3, 4 a day. And I'll tell you what, that's tough stuff. So I did 3 a day, a couple of 4s. And I always had in mind the last 2 days and even the last 3. But on the last 3, or the third, I was going to do 5. And then I was going to do 6 and 6. Now, when you do 6 speeches where you have 10, 15, 20, 25, even 30,000 people, that's not so easy, okay? Good stamina, high energy. Do you agree? High energy. High energy. So I did the 3 a day and a lot of speeches. No days off. There was no Sunday off. Although I did go to church whenever possible. I did go to church. But no days off. And then we got down to the last 2, and I did 6 speeches. They know, these guys knew. They were exhausted, the press. And then on the 7th day, which was, you remember, Monday, right? I did 6 speeches. And then I heard that my opponent, does anybody remember my opponent? No? They don't remember. They don't remember. Governor, these people are brutal. Now I know why it's always a bloodbath for you guys, but you win, so that's all. But I heard, so I did 6, right? 6 on Sunday. And then Monday comes along and I did 6. And about 3 hours before the final speech, I'm saying, oh boy, I don't have to, this is it. And this was it. Started 16 months before, coming down the escalator, right? Said a lot of things. We talked about illegal immigration, turned out to be right. We talked about trade, turned out to be right. I said a lot of things. But we did 6 speeches, and then I heard that Hillary was going with her husband and with President Obama, who, by the way, has been very nice, and his wife has been very, very nice. Telling you. They've been very nice, but they were on a plane going to Michigan. And I said, whoa, whoa, and that was not a planned trip. And you know, they spent $2 billion, so you don't get credit for this. I spent a tiny fraction of what they spent. In the old days, if you spent less money and won, you got credit for it. Nowadays, whoever spends the most money, it doesn't make sense. But we spent a lot less money. We spent a fraction of what they spent. And they had unlimited money, so that meant to me they did a poll, we didn't, because why should I spend a lot of money for a poll, right? When the newspapers give you polls every single day, right? These pollsters. So they spent a lot of money. They found out, obviously, trouble in Michigan because they had an unscheduled trip to Michigan. So they went to Michigan, did not have a good crowd. And I said at 6 o'clock that afternoon, I said, let's go to Michigan. Now, by the time I finished in New Hampshire, it was already like 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I said, let's go to Michigan. And my people said, are you crazy? You just did 6 majors. I said, I don't care. This is the presidency, right? This is the presidency. So we went to Michigan with no notice, with like a tweet. We went up. Now I do have between Facebook and Twitter and Instagram almost 40 million people, so that's a lot. It's a lot. But with a tweet. So we get there and it's very late. It's like 12:30. And our vice president-elect was there with me. And we had, at 12:30 in the morning, and I started speaking at 1 o'clock in the morning, we had in Michigan 31,000 people inside and outside. 31,000 showed up. And I said to Mike and I said to everybody, we're going to win Michigan. I'll tell you. Now, it hadn't been won in like 38 years, but we are going to win Michigan. And we ended up winning Michigan. But anyway, so I got the bad news from my daughter. And I said, that's too bad. So I go and see my wife. I said, baby, I'll tell you what. We're not going to win tonight because the polls have come out. And, you know, I always used to believe in those exit polls. I don't believe in them anymore. And it's just looking bad. But you know what? I'm okay with it because of the fact that I couldn't have worked any harder. You can't do any worse than that. I mean, I just couldn't have done. And if I lose, I lose. And you know what? If I lose, I lose, and I'm going to have a nice, easy life. We can all relax together, right? But, so, you know, I felt, you know, you don't feel good if you didn't put out and you lose. But if you put out every single ounce of energy in your blood, you feel like, okay, there's nothing more you can do. So I told her, and she looked at me, and she's seen these rallies, and she said, you're not going to lose. I said, no, I'm telling you, the polls are looking very big. She goes, you're not going to lose, my wife. So then I figured, hey, look, it's just a nice wife that's trying to be nice. And that's what she is. She is a great person. So what happened? Melania, right? Do we love Melania? Boom, the escalator. They love Melania. She's great. She said, you're not going to lose. Okay. So now the polls are closed, and they start announcing numbers. And I say, oh, this is going to be embarrassing. I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do. And I have this ballroom that's not that big because I didn't know if I'm going to win or lose. I know this. If I'm going to lose, I don't want a big ballroom. I'd go up, I'd say, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot, my supporters. I love you, folks. I love you. Good night, everybody. Bye. I'm out of there, right? And she had this massive convention center with a big fireworks display. And they were paying about $7 million for the fireworks. And it was a big deal, and they knew they were going to win until the final week. They knew bad things were happening. And I got a good sign when 4 days before the end, I called up Mike. They just canceled the fireworks. It was the front page story, they canceled. Now, usually you cancel fireworks because you don't want fireworks if you're going to lose, right? Did anybody ever use fireworks if they're going to lose? Governor, in the history of elections, if you lose, you don't set off fireworks, right? So they canceled their beautiful Grucci fireworks. And I wanted to be a wise guy, so I offered them 5 cents on the dollar for their fireworks, okay? I did. We never heard back. No, we never heard back. We never heard back. So anyway, but that was a good sign. Do you agree? So anyway. So I figured it's election night. I figured we're going to lose. But, you know, hey, this is sort of cool. I never did this stuff before. Hey, by the way, did we all do a good job together, right? It's a movement. It's a movement. So then the real numbers started coming, and we started with, like, Ohio. And I was expected to win Ohio by 2 points or 3 points. When I say I'm talking about the two of us and us, all of us. So it comes in. We have breaking news. Donald Trump has won Ohio in a massive number. Right? We won Ohio very close to 10%. So the 2% or 3% was now close to 10%. I said, that's good. Then we have breaking news. Donald Trump has won the great state of Iowa. I said, whoa. And that was supposed to be close. We were up a little bit in the polls, like 1 point. We won it by more than 10 points, right? And I'm saying, this is a little different than these exit polls. What's going on? Because the exit polls had me tied in Ohio. Then they were getting a little bit like, they were surprised by the numbers, right? You know, these people that are standing back there. 2, 3 of them I see. 3 of them. I see 3 of them, and 4 of them I think are hiding in the back. They're in the... So then they go to Florida. And they're doing pretty well in Florida. Unfortunately, they forgot to count our votes. So all of a sudden, they get to areas that we just dominated. And we're sort of tied, and we haven't gotten to the panhandle yet. She loves the I love the panhandle, too. And they told one of the networks, they were bid to be, yes, we feel very good about Florida. Florida is going to be ours. And North Carolina will be ours. That's the firewall, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has won the state of Florida. Right? Now, they spent 10 to 1 in North Carolina. I love that state. We won South Carolina easily, but North Carolina was supposed to be something that's very hard to win, right? Very, very hard to win. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. And you see these people, they're going like, oh, look at how. One of the networks is going, ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news, Donald Trump. They're like in a state of absolute, like they're getting sick. One of them, they say, broke down and started to cry, but I don't think she did, really. I don't think she did. So they go, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has won the state of North Carolina. Hey, now they're going home. Now we're running up the East Coast. I mean, it's like a marathon. It's like, and now we hit Pennsylvania, and they don't want to call it, right? You saw that. They don't want to call it. So we're left with 1%. And if they got 100% of that 1%, they still get killed in Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania was tough because every Republican forever thought they were going to win the great state of Pennsylvania, right? They said, not me, the bride that got away. That's the expression. It's always the bride that got away. Pennsylvania, great state. And I said, we're going to win Pennsylvania, but I keep thinking about every time you see the Republicans are going for 38 years or something, they hadn't won Pennsylvania. So it's one of those states, very, very tough to win. But I just felt so good. We're getting these massive crowds. In fact, we're going there in 2 days to celebrate. Hershey, Pennsylvania. We're going to Hershey. A big crowd. So Pennsylvania, they don't want to call it. They don't want to call it. There's like 1% left, and there's no way they can catch it. And I'm looking, and I'm starting to do interviews now because now I'm thinking, boy, this is fun. This is great. I can't lose Pennsylvania. But they refuse to call it because they're dishonest people, okay? So, it's all right. So then we go up the coast, and then it happened, right? Before Pennsylvania, even though they should have done Pennsylvania at about 11:30 in the evening. Of course, there's two reasons. Number one, they like the commercials because the audience they had that night was massive. The debates, did I win those debates, folks? Right? The debates had a massive, over 100 million people. And by the way, did Mike Pence, did he win his debate? Mike Pence. That wasn't even a contest. In fact, Mike, it actually got boring. That was not even a contest. So then it happened, folks, out of nowhere. Oh, and they got sick to, they were like, he was throwing up. You know, with the map, bing, 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 boy, that map was getting red as hell. That map was bleeding red. Florida, South Carolina. And before that, remember, Texas. They said, for 3 months, Texas is in play. Texas, that means we're like even. And Republicans win Texas. Even if you're a lousy candidate, you win Texas. Texas is Republican, and it's great, and the people are great, and I had these massive crowds, and for 3 months they're saying, Texas is in play, and next week it is very close. Texas is in play. And Georgia, remember Georgia? Georgia is in play, and I'm saying, man, can you imagine if I lose Texas? Or if I lose Georgia? It's in play. I'm saying to my kids and my wife, Texas is in play, Georgia's in play. This is going to be a disaster. And then they said Utah. Now, I don't think the Republicans ever lost. Have they ever lost Utah? I don't think so. Utah is in play against some guy that I look at him and say, there's no way. My wife looked at him and she said, you're not going to lose to him. Sure. I'm telling you, she's good at this stuff. I said, yeah, but they say that he's tied with me. And she said, no, he's not tied. You're not going to lose to him. Don't worry about it. So they said, Utah is in play. So now it's like whatever time, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, it goes on. First thing, like about 1 minute, you know, because the numbers were so great. Donald Trump has won the state of Texas. That means it was a slaughter. It was a slaughter. Donald Trump has won the state of Georgia. Donald Trump has won the state of Utah. I love Utah. Utah. And this guy that was put up there to fight me, I mean, he was down. Hillary even beat him, okay? We won Utah by 25 points, something like that. We won Utah by a lot. So all of a sudden I'm saying, wow, but what happened? So now we win all these states, and they're holding Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. Right? Donald Trump. So they said Donald Trump has won the state. And I tell you what, I give a lot of credit to that. To your governor, a lot of credit. I give a lot of credit to Paul Ryan. Give him a lot of credit. And I give a lot of credit to Vice President Mike Pence, because they stood up here and they campaigned like you never saw before. So that was out of the blue. Now we pick up a state that we weren't really expecting. We knew it was close, but we didn't know that that was going to happen. And then after that, Michigan was announced, and now, and the greatest was when Pennsylvania came in? Because that's a big, 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 beautiful state. Donald Trump has won the state of Pennsylvania. And they're going even before Pennsylvania, but they're doing all this red, and that map was so beautiful looking. And I'll never forget the guy who was saying for months, there is no path to 270 for Donald Trump. But there was a path to 306. No path. There was no path to 270. In fact, they couldn't get me up. They couldn't get me up to 270, but they got me to 269. So I kept going back to Maine, one vote. And that's part of the beauty of the electoral system. I have to tell you, I went back to Maine 4 times for one. The beauty is I went to 17 different states. I was going all over. And there is a beauty to it. There's a genius to it. Now, the other would be easier. Just a popular vote would be easier because I go to New York and California, go to Texas, go to Florida. That's it. And it would be easier. But the Electoral College is genius. It's genius. You go everywhere. And unless you see it, it's a very different way of campaigning. It's sort of like if you play golf. It's match play versus stroke play. You know, it's very different. But unless you see how this works up close and personal. So we ended up winning. And I'll never forget when they were on the map and they put up Wisconsin. And he said, there is no path for Hillary Clinton to become president. Donald Trump is your next president of the United States. Because of you. So I want to thank the people of Wisconsin. You're incredible people. You're incredible people. Really do. And I can tell you this. We're going to work so hard for you. We're going to work so hard. We're going to have the best people in the world. And you see the people we're getting. If you don't mind, we won't be totally politically correct. If you don't mind, okay? Is that all right? All right. We are going to work so hard for you. And we're going to bring back your jobs. And we're going to terminate Obamacare. We're going to come up with a great, great health plan that Paul Ryan is working on right now. And we're going to cut your taxes. And we're going to have strong borders. And we're going to have the wall. We're going to have the wall. We're going to have that wall. And we're going to stop the drugs from pouring into our country. And we're going to build up our military, big league, and we're going to take care of those vets. We're going to take care of them. And we are going to make you, look, here's the bottom line. We are going to make you so proud of your country again. So proud. We are never, ever going to let you down. We are never going to let you down. Believe me, and I'm saying this from the heart, this is me to you. This is not reading anything, no speeches, no nothing. This is me to you. I say it to the heart, and maybe even more so. I know how hard you worked in this state, and my people were so incredible in this state, the people that got out the vote, and they said they didn't even have to work to get out the vote. It's so incredible. So we're never going to let you down, Wisconsin. And I just want to tell you, in the truest sense of the words, it's a theme that we started right from the beginning. We're going to make America strong again. We're going to make America powerful again. We're going to make America rich again, wealthy again. We are going to make America great again. So I want to thank you, Wisconsin. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. God bless you. Thank you, Wisconsin.
Joe Seals back here with you in the Right Side Broadcasting Network studios live in Auburn, Alabama. Thanks for watching our live stream tonight from West Allis, Wisconsin of President-elect Donald Trump's Thank You rally. As a reminder, there are 3 rallies left, and then they'll be gone probably for another 4 years. Maybe he'll continue to do them throughout his presidency, as Rush Limbaugh suggested, and if so, we will definitely be there. But join us on Thursday in Hershey, Pennsylvania at the Giant Arena. We will be live there. Also in Orlando, Florida on Friday, and we close it out right here in our great state of Alabama in Mobile, Alabama on Saturday. So you don't want to miss it. 3 p.m. Central Time on Saturday in Mobile. We also have the honor of being able to hook up our cameras to the Jumbotron there. They have selected us to do that. It's quite an honor. We're very excited about that. So if you're at the rally in Mobile on Saturday and you happen to see the big screen there, that's Right Side's feed, and please come up, say hello. We love meeting our fans. I just want to take a minute to tell everybody thank you for listening tonight. Thank you for watching our broadcast and all that you've done for our network. We are trying to build a new media platform and take on the mainstream media. I know I've said this many times, but we showed you our studio. If you haven't seen it, if you didn't catch it during the live feed, go back and look at our studio. We are trying to build a new media platform and take on the mainstream guys, and that is not easy for a small company based in Alabama. Very small company. We're trying to do this, and we're finding out that it's not very easy. So we need your help. If you can donate to us, please do so at rsbn.tv/donate. Every little bit helps, and it goes towards the cost of us relocating. We're building offices. We're having an office open up in D.C. We are going to be at every single rally. We are trying to bring in new programming. Next week, you will see 2 new shows, RSBN Tonight, our nightly news program, and also one that we're really excited about, Raise Right. That stars Cassie Dillon. She's a superstar. If you haven't seen her, you need to check her out. And also Will Nardi, her friend, and this guy's awesome too. You can check him out on Twitter at Will the Thinker, and Cassie is at Cassie Dillon. That is Cassie with a Y. This show is going to be geared towards millennials, college students, and even teenagers. And that is what we want to do here at Right Side, is to bring programming, something for everybody. We want to reach out to all different backgrounds and sort of just change the way that the media operates. We are biased here at Right Side. Obviously, we are lean more to the right, but we believe in telling the truth, and we're going to hold people in power accountable, no matter what letter is next to their name, and we're going to make sure they follow through on their promises. And we just appreciate everyone, and we remind you, everybody, that you can tune in. For those of you that are watching live on our studio cam right now, you can watch a 24-hour feed of Mr. Trump, of Right Side Broadcasting offices here at Auburn. I don't know why you would want to, kind of boring sometimes, but you can watch us work here in the office by going to our YouTube page, and you can see the studio cam, which is at the very top of the page, or you can go to Right Side Broadcasting's website, rsbn.tv, and you see the live studio cam pinned up to the top there of the page. We will be here live most days from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. Central Time. You can catch us live anytime. Sometimes we talk and just sort of goof off, and it's kind of fun to just watch and chat. Thank you to our moderators, everybody who have been so great to us. I'm working late. It's my birthday tonight. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get up out of here and go spend some time with my wife. You guys have a great evening. And remember, the Wayne Dupree program is live. Is it live now? We're going live in a few minutes to the Wayne Dupree program. You can watch that by going to our YouTube channel page or going to rsbn.tv, the website. Please help us, rsbn.tv/donate. You guys have been great. Tomorrow we will have our news show, RSBN Tonight, at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. Have a good night. God bless. thanks again, guys. We're going to cut the feed. You can tune into the Wayne Dupree Show right now. Go to the YouTube channel page, or you can watch us goof around here in the studio on our live studio cam. See you back here Thursday night.